Right. Charging these. Charging. What's up? Okay. Is this all the way down, bro? Going the Boeing. Destroy my thing right here. Okay, here we go. Probably right here. It's better. Yeah. I think it goes with the desk, the height. All right. Whew. Oh, this has been a productive day. Good one. Good day. A lot of things, like always. So, wow. Just life has its own spice to everybody. Right? It's the beauty about life. You can have your own interpretation, but I think interpretations are further from the truth, though. But yeah, I'm not gonna go through this legal system. So, what have we been talking about? Talking about women, about this rig dating environment, right? Ah, man, it's so crazy, though. It's so crazy. I want to fall. So crazy. So I was talking to my brother, right? And I heard somebody said years ago that sometimes you learn more when you're talking, right, than when you're reading, right? In silence, right? Obviously, right? And it's crazy because sometimes I don't know if it has happened to you guys, but sometimes you're talking, but when you're being serious, right? When you're being serious, you're talking and you said something like, "Whoa, I said it," right? And it came out like impactful, deep, right? Edwin, what's up? Yeah. And so I was telling my brother that uh that sometimes we want to put everything in one box, right? We want to put everything in one category, and this is when we start losing track about reality, especially with women, right? Relationships, right? If you're married, single, or you're 18, 15, 16, well, 18, let's keep it as an adult, right? And I told him that I believe these days, if people are going through depression or sadness or difficulties with relationships with women, right, or the opposite sex, it's more because of overthinking, right? There's so much knowledge and information in front of us that it's just so overwhelming, right? And I believe that that's more uh, uh, it's more tragic than not having knowledge at all, right? Because having too much stuff in front of you, how to talk to women, say this, how to do this, say this, this is the line, this is the pickup line, this is like it just drives you crazy, bro. It drives you crazy. And then at the end of the day you say it didn't work, and then you switch it, and you keep switching it every time with a different woman, and you're never gonna get to try something if it works, because every woman you try different things, right? And what I've learned, like if you want to try something, you need to try for at least with 50, with 50 women, right? That same thing, no, same words, same gestures, same actions, right? Why am I saying this? Because I do really believe in astrology and numerology. So if you have 50 women, right, you're interacting, whatever, and if you try only with 5 or 10, automatically we have 12 signs, right? And I don't want to make this as a numerology astrology. Let's just make it an example that how. how we give up before time, right? You heard it before. Is it a numbers game? I think it is. I think it's a numbers game, right? But it's also a an astrology game, right? If you say something to a girl who's a Leo, she's gonna take it different. If you say something to a Pisces girl, it's gonna be different. If you say something to a Virgo, it just goes on, right? It's just making an example. What's up, Sue? What's up, man? And yeah, what's up, Coin the Boyne, Axel, the rapper. Hopefully you spit something good, bro. What's up, Kamea? Number one supporter. Can never forget, guys. Right? Can never forget. You know, not the people, but the person. And there's only it's only gonna be one or two. You know, three might be. I'm exaggerating. I'm giving a little extra. Who will stick to you regardless, right? So don't lie to yourself saying that I have a lot of supporters. I have a lot of people who support my cause or whatever. No, and whatever you guys doing. I'm not being a pessimist, right? But it's a reality, right? I haven't said it only. There's other people that can confirm what I say. That never forget, right? Never forget if you make it in any way, right? The person, right? Not the people, because this that's plural. Leave it singular. Two, three people that stick together, right? Never forget about those, right? Hello, what's up? Are you from the military years ago? Nah, probably like, in my last incarnation, I think I was. Because if I'm a Pisces right now, I was what? Aries? Aries? I don't know. Aquarius? But yeah, that's what's up, guys. So I'm gonna touch a topic that it doesn't never gets old to me. It never gets old. I don't know why, man. I don't know why. And I know this is one of the social platforms or the topic subjects that people like to talk about this. But for some reason, I think they do talk about it. But sometimes I think that I can give my own twist, right? My own experience, basically. Not interpretation, but my own experience of what really is. And it's like young men that don't want to have to do with women, right? Or vice versa. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's women really going to tough times and finding somebody. I don't really believe that. I don't really believe that. But if there is, I mean, okay. But I think men, not because I'm a man, no, but it's because I have my own observations and I see it's men who are struggling more. Of course, there's going to be women. Of course, there's always the law of exception, always in play, right? But Selena Gonzalez, what's up? Jesus loves you. All right, yeah. And so going to what I was saying, I disagree, and I'm not here to mention names. I didn't start this channel to get clout or get followers by speaking about other people who have made it, right? Big time, right? I'm not, but you guys know who am I talking about once you start listening to me. So I've been listening to a few people saying that one of the best advices they're telling young people if they're 18, early 20s is to stay away from women and just go to school, right? Have a job, two, three jobs, make money, so much money, money. Have two pairs of shoes, right? Not too many clothes, so you don't have to waste a lot of money. So basically, two, three jobs, right? For 10 years, I heard it. So if you're 18 or 20, you're not gonna touch a woman until you're 30. Are you following this absurd? Are you acknowledging how dangerous this shit is? No, this is so dangerous that I had to do something. I had to start talking about this. I started talking about other things, aliens and technology and Israel and these wars, and it just got old because I'm like, okay, we all know that. let's go to something that it's happening right now. Well, that's happening right now too, war and everything, but it's just a sacrifice. People have to die, so these aliens keep blessing these countries. That's what it is. Somebody told me, like, what do you think about this war? This war is not about oil. It's not about none of that. None of that. That's just the political terms that they're using. This is about aliens. Every country has their aliens DNA. We all have alien DNA. So people have to die because these aliens feed out of blood, out of energy. It's not like us that we eat, vegetables, meat, protein. They don't, right? Right? Because they're half physical and the other half non-physical, so they can't eat solids, right? So that's why they create all these wars, right? And they tell us it's because oil and who has the bigger stake and blah blah blah. And a lot of times it's just to test technology, right? So to test technology, United States, it's number one, you know, number one country that does that. Our country, obviously, and sometimes it's not for the bad; it's for the good, right? They have to try technology, and that's what's up. But yeah, going back to this woman thing, right? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I will not promote or support that kind of advice. The young man's supposed to be working real hard, all right? For 10 years, you're gonna make rich two, three corporations at the same time. Okay. So you have to make your math. I'm not gonna do the math right now. So you have to do the math how many people right now they're in their 20s, right? And you can multiply working three jobs, right? We're gonna multiply this like for millions, right? These corporations are gonna get so rich, right? Because of ignorance of people, right? I'm here to tell you guys that you can never go against nature, never. And if you try to go against nature, there's a price to pay. You can go against nature, right? You can go against nature. It's like I told my son, and his friend was there like 2, 3, 4 years ago, and they were saying, "But if I do this, like, look, if you go against nature, there will be pain." Okay, but pain not all the time it's bad. Okay, I have kids. I don't know if you guys have kids. When they're teething, they're hurt. There's pain because the teeth are coming out. Right? That's not evil. That's not because you deserve it or karma. It's not. It's just part of nature. So there's certain pain that comes because it's replenishing and it's protecting you for to damage a bone or something. As if you just bend your hand, right? You go all the way back, you're gonna crack it, you're gonna break it. Your risk. So it's the same thing, right? So with nature, you can think you can go against it, okay? But first of all, what is nature? What's nature? Talking about men and women, what's nature? Okay. We're both humans, right? But we have different genders, sex. Okay. I have a hormone that's called testosterone. Okay. It dominates more on me than in a woman. A woman has a certain percentage, right? But testosterone is with us, right? So can you think about all this? If you're trying to get rid of porn, so you have all these 20, early 20 dudes who are going to the gym, who are fit, working two, three jobs, and going at home. So what are you doing with all the testosterone? What are you doing with that? Right? Because we as men, we create millions of sperms on a daily basis. And there's a reason for that. Okay. You're not creating millions of sperms a day just because for fun. Nature, it's not meant for that. Okay. And then this is the thing. Okay, what am I gonna do if women don't like me? Okay, this is when it gets tricky, and I don't want people breaking the law because it depends where you are. Like I said it before, there's a lot of countries that prostitution is legal, right? And this advice about not spending money on women, it kind of makes me feel that these people they just hate women and they just don't want to spend money on you. Okay, you need to know how to twist and switch the tables. I remember a girl years ago said that, oh, I charge for being for you. Like, okay, yeah, I don't pay for pussy, right? but I spend money in pussy. Two different things, right? She started cracking up when I said that, right? Because she started to put a price on her. Like, no, 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 that's not how it goes. You know, I can buy dinner if I want. I can buy you drinks if I want. Mm. I can take you to a hotel instead of having sex in the car if I want. Mm. So it's very different. It's very different for paying for something and spending on something. Okay, you're paying is means like you have to. It's mandatory. Like you have no control. You have no knowledge on it. Okay, and I know disclaimer. All right, because I know we're in America. Not a lot of new laws are coming. Blah blah blah. I don't want you guys going looking for hookers and getting fucking detained. Right? I'm from Chicago. I had a friend. I was lucky I never got caught, but I was a friend. Then after clubs, if he didn't got anything, we will go to fucking look for something, right? One time it was a fucking cop, but we were riding in different cars though. And it's crazy because sometimes that's how they get you. They're police, but they're just this guy as a prostitute, right? So I don't want you guys to do that. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of women that are willing to give that thing for free. I mean, for free. I mean, that thing, if you spend a little bit of money. But there's a way of doing it, guys. I don't believe that, man. That's so sick. I'm 20 years old. I have to go back when I was 18 years old. All right. So I lost my virginity when I was 16. Right. And I cannot imagine myself like until I'm 30, 29, I'm gonna have sex for the first time. What a fucking creep would I be? A fag? I don't know. I don't want to cuss a lot, but it's just pathetic, man. It's just disturbing. It's just disturbing how these people are really believing these people that they need to do that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through. So what it is to pay for a woman and to spend in a woman. Okay, so let's see. You go on Tinder, you go on Bumble, any dating app. Let's stay neutral. I don't want no fucking propaganda. A dating app, or you may meet her through whatever, any social media, right? Platform. You guys want to go to a date, to the club, coffee, I don't know, whatever, right? And you're there, and you feel that you want to pay, okay? Not because she's telling you. This is the key. Okay. Okay, I accept, Alex, but you're gonna pay. No, no, okay, that's garbage. Delete, erase, bye, never. But when a woman decides, yeah, let's go out, let's have a hamburger or whatever, smoke, anything. You go, you're there, you need to feel the vibe. So this is what it's dangerous for young men to be isolated in their closet under the sheets. You know? Ooh, I don't want to go to the world. It's scary. Women are just sluts. We all know that. It's not nothing new. It's in the beginning of time. They were meant to be like that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have kids, right? So the thing, how can you go around those women, or how to use their nature, you know, in your favor? Okay. hmm That's another one. Like, okay, don't date single moms. I agree with that one, but that doesn't mean I cannot have sex with a single mom. It's very different. Mhm. Oh, don't marry single moms. I agree. 100%. I don't want to raise kids that are not mine. I already have a hard time raising my own kids, right? All these fuckers, they think they're alphas, right? And that's a good thing. They're healthy. Good, right? That's the guarantee when you have kids with a young woman, okay? And has no abortions and no kids from nobody. She will give you healthy kids. Remember, guys, she's not a virgin. Ah, it's okay. You know, these days, what is virgin? Sometimes not even olive oil no more. You don't trust that stuff no more, you know. But not virgin, it's okay. Abortions, no, okay. Boom, make her some kids, right? Okay, you're gonna be healthy if she's young, okay, under 27 years old. She needs to be under 27, right? Because everything over 27 is getting risky. If she has been healthy though, right? No abortions, healthy. She's been working out. She still can do good, even to 33, 34. But if she's healthy though, like healthy, like she's been working out, she was like 9 years old, 10. She was in activity. And if you are working out too as a man, eating your protein and all these vegetables and your greens so you can have a strong sperm, right? But going back, what's the difference between paying for a woman and spending on a woman? Very different things, right? Pay, I spend. I have to pay, that means like there's non-negotiable. Okay. You have to pay that. Otherwise, you can't get in the ride. No, walk away from that. Okay. I'm going to spend some money here. That's very different. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pay. That's already a specific number. Okay. There's going to be taken out of your credit card or bails out of your wallet. But if I decide to spend money, that even can be that she's spending money too. We both spending. Hmm? What's up, Yurda Gonzalez? Yeah, what's up? Can we pray? Oh my God. No, I mean, I hunt. I don't pray. I hunt. So I hunted Kamea. Woo! Woo! Love that one. Right? So, yeah, guys. Okay. Very different. Okay. Well, Alex, I'm 21 years old. I decided to do bonfires on my backyard and fuck woman. Hmm. Sounds logical to me, right? Mm-hmm. That's logic. I don't want to deal with them. I don't know about that one though. See, with women, it's just like going to a jungle, right? Or going to a terrain, to the mountains, where you ignore the nature of the wilderness, right? Out in the country. Okay. You decide just to go like, you know what? I don't care what is in here. Well, how do you know there's no mountain lions, you know? Buffaloes, mhm, tigers, snakes, etc., right? Wolves. Okay. You can't have that mentality, guys. Okay. We all understand how modern women are. Yeah. It's disgusting what they do, OnlyFans, but then you have to go to the source. Okay. You want to find the truth by saying not why. Why is she like that? Why is a victim mentality? Okay. Why is a victim mentality? Why is this happening to me? Why is it that she doesn't love me? Why is it that I don't have a girlfriend? Why is it that I don't have a wife? Why is it that I don't have children? Why is a victim mentality? Okay. You want to replace that word with who? Who is that woman? Mm. Who made her that way? Mm. Oh, I work for OnlyFans. Who is the owner of OnlyFans? Who's the founder of OnlyFans? When you start using who, you go to the source. All right. Okay. I'm going to say something. You guys can write it down. So it's not why women don't want you. It's who wants me. Okay. So when you replace that word, now there's no victim mentality. Matter of fact, you're coming confident. And now you're putting mathematics into the equation. You're putting mathematics into the formula, I mean. Hmm? You're putting mathematics now. Instead of saying, why are women not wanting men no more? No, 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 no. Why is it that she doesn't want me? No, victim mentality. Okay. You're being singular. When you replace the word why and to who wants me, Now you're puffing your chest out a little bit. Okay. You're coming more confident. Okay. And now it's a numbers game for the most part. Who wants me? Once you know that nature, there's chemicals or physics, right? Mathematics. So you need to understand that there's a lot of things that cannot be violated. There are a lot of laws that if you drop this pen, it's gonna stay there. It's not gonna bounce back. Okay? It's not. This is how sure, this is how sure you are. Okay? Assure yourself that this is that word is gonna replace that mentality to you. Not why is woman not attracted to me? That's a victim mentality, and you're just focusing on one, two, three, four, five specific women that you think it's the end of the world. You need to replace it. Who are the women with E? Who are the women who want me? Okay, guys, I'm being serious. It works like magic when you start doing it on a daily basis. Mhm, mhm. Why are women not attracted to me? Garbage. Dump it on the garbage. Take that why out of your vocabulary. Okay, for woman. Okay, replace it with who. Who wants me? Who are the type of woman who wants this big dog? Okay. This is how you need to talk to yourself. Okay. And I get it. I get it. Our parents, they're busy or they were busy working. All right. So many hours that we have to learn this through painful. All right. Break moments. Right. Breaking, breakups and all that. Okay. But this is for young people who still they have a dad, but they don't interact with them for any reasons, whatever, and you're struggling, right? Because this is the reason I decided to talk about this for until I get fucking, I don't know, until I decide to talk about something else, is because I go out a lot, right? I like to be in big cities. I like to go to bars. I like to go everywhere. Not clubs no more, but just bars and just cafes and just fucking big cities, malls. Not malls a lot, but I just go out. Parks to interact the gym sometimes, not too much. Co-workers. So you don't have to go out a lot to see what's happening with the young people, right? Or with men in general, right? So I share this with a few people, and I know it works because I did it with myself, with friends, families, right? You need to stop taking that victim mentality because certain women don't want you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You need to understand that it's not a why problem, it's a who. Who wants you? Okay. Mm. Oh, she doesn't want me. Okay, cool. Not all women should want you, anyways. That's weird. What the fuck? Right? If all women would want you, we didn't have all these fucking countries and races. Okay. We wouldn't have all that. Mhm. So it works, it's powerful. And once you get to understand, like, okay, who wants me, now you're going to stick to the type of woman you're attracting to your life, right? Because you no longer have that victim mentality. You will not notice it. You might try, okay, let me see, like, okay, why am I not being attracted? And like, who am I attracted to? Okay. So when you start doing that, that automatically pushes you to get out of your comfort zone, right? It gets you out of your bed. It gets you out of your bed, right? Because now you're not settling, right? For, okay, she didn't want me. No, no, no. Who wants me? Okay. So now any rejection that comes your way, you respond with a who. Well, oh, she didn't want any. Okay, she did it. That doesn't mean other don't, other won't. Okay. But if I say, oh, okay, man, why didn't she, She danced with me. Why didn't she, you know, kiss me? Why didn't she want to go with me out? No. Who, right? And when you start implementing the who, automatically you're you're tapping into the mathematics, right? In the universe, right? In the why, there's no mathematics. In the who, there's numbers. All right. Okay. Why people want to go to war? Why do you want to enroll in the military? That's not right. Let's learn from the politics, right? From the politicians, right? Who wants to go? Who wants to be the brave man? Who wants to be the patriot? So they know all these words, right? This is what I said. Like, you'll be surprised how many times you can use the politician words, but make them yours, but truthful though, right? Make them work for you, right? See, guys, this is why I've said it earlier that it's not misinformation. I don't believe. I used to believe that oh, it's misinformation that is leading to all these people, including me, to be ignorant, right, or act like a fool, like everything's just ending. It's not that. It's so much information that these people laugh at us. They really put the truth out there like a buffet, right? That's how it is. I don't believe they're hiding anything now. I don't believe that these elites, these politicians, these people, they're not hiding anything no more. No, they're not. They have very strong, sharp observation, and they know that humans are people who get overwhelmed with so much information that they just start picking their own one, right? Because believe me, there's so much information that you just get overwhelmed, right? We all went to school, high school, whatever, you went to college. Okay, let's see when you're doing a test, right? It's a multiple, A, B, C, or one, two, three. Can you imagine if every question had like 400 options, right? Can you imagine that? Mhm. That's wrong. Can you imagine one of the questions? What's the name of the seven, eight president of the United States of America, right? And the options, the multi choices, there's kind of like 100 names. See what I'm saying? So it's not that they're not telling you the truth. It's not that the truth is not there. It's just there's so much information. There's truth over truth over truth that people get just drowned, right? Drowned, overwhelmed. And that's not an excuse, though. That's not an excuse, right? It's not an excuse to be masturbating at home because you decide that you don't want to deal with women. You don't want to deal with women, guys. You need to explain who you come from, then, right? You dealt for 9, 8 months inside of a, water and belly button and I don't know, more stuff inside your mom, right? Mm. I think that's weakness. I think that we should be exposed more to women, right? The more exposed you are to women, regardless who they are, sluts, not sluts, hookers, prostitutes, sisters, cousins, aunts, I don't fucking care. You need to be comfortable how they say things. You need to be comfortable and knowledgeable how they pronounce things, how they cook, how they walk, how they smell. All right. Everything. Okay. Isolating from woman is isolating from life. Period. Mm? I'm gonna say it again. Isolating from woman is isolating from life. Right. I'm telling you. Isn't it crazy? And then wife and life rhyme. You take the W, you put the L is life, right? Hmm. So I'm not saying that you have to marry the first person you know, or you have to marry at all. You can have kids without marrying if that's what you want. What I'm saying is that it's getting kind of like very very alarming, and I'm gonna use the word alarming in my view. How young people are getting angry, and the thing is that they've been listening, scrolling to these people who are telling them they should be making money, getting rich, right? They should be getting rich left and right. Okay. So then, when you have the money in 10 years, then you get the woman. Okay. And I'm here to tell you that you can try it. It's your life. It's your life. But I want you to try my words. Try it. Don't believe everything I said. All right. But I know there's true in it. Right. I don't think that isolated from anything makes you stronger. Anything that you isolate from, anything that you don't want to deal from, makes you weaker. Mhm. Makes you weaker. I don't want to go through there because I think they're going to beat me up. Weak. You have to go through there. Right. Mhm. Every situation is different, of course. If there's a fucking bunch of uh, wolves, you're just not going to go there. Right. You have to wear the proper uh, armor, whatever. Right. Whatever it is. But I'm just talking about women here, humans. Right. So I believe that getting rich and not knowing about women is just the same as being poor, right? Because at the end of the day, you can be rich, right? And I've seen it. I've been incarcerated for 9 years. I've seen it. People with millions, they touch prisons, their wives, their women, forget about them. And a lot of people were not doing life. A lot of people were there for 1, 2, 3 years, right? Because they were treating her like they were everything. And that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. Mhm. Don't hate women. You don't have to love women. I think that's the key. You cannot love woman. Mhm. What's up? Exactly. No woman wants a man who refers to himself as a big dog. Well, see, who? We know that, you know, if she's a she or a he, I don't know, but see, like just an example right there, right? Nobody wants a woman. This is a perfect example. If you express yourself how you are, women are very, very cunning guys, all right? They're very intuitive. They know when a man is lack of pussy or not, right? And sometimes they're gonna say something to hurt you, right? To misdirect you. And you need to understand that whatever you being told, it comes from one woman, okay? Out of one water drop out of the whole ocean, okay? You don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to be reactive because that will put you like it's truthful what she's saying, right? But this is just a perfect example how women have their own categories of men. Okay. And this is a long topic, man. This is a long topic. This is can be for hours and it can be something that even you can even write a book about how women, there's categories of women, right? There's categories just like fruits. Okay. You have peaches, apples, oranges, pears, oh, so watermelon, pineapple, you name it. So many variety of fruits, right? But they're all fruits. Mhm. Some are sweet, some are tropical, some are more citrus, but they are in the same family. They're fruits with different category. Okay. It's just like when you go and do a smoothie, right? There's certain things you need to know how to do a smoothie. You're just not gonna put an avocado, right, and a pineapple and spinach and blend it. That's disgusting. But if you know how to make something, you might put some beets, right? Might put some kale, some pineapple, right? Something else, and you make a great drink. So it's the same with women, guys. That's why whenever you feel lost, right? What's up? Hello, boom, friends. Okay, friends, that's good. So going back to this, right? And I think this is gonna be start to turn the tables around with women, and women are not gonna like it, right? They're not gonna like it right away. Once they start seeing young people not ignoring them, but ignoring what they're saying. All right, guys. I've been listening to for a while, right? A lot of people say like the power of ignoring a woman, and I'm gonna tell you that I disagree with that. I don't know if you can rephrase it how to ignore what they say. Okay, You ignore what they're saying. Mhm. You not ignoring her, right? I don't know how can you ignore a woman just like it will be awkward, right? If there's women, right, you just like not looking at them or ignoring them. Like, no, you just don't fall for what they're saying. And I think that comes attractive and sexy, right? Because they're used to say dumb stuff and everybody's just like laughing or agreeing with them. Okay. And this is what I just like it just see how big this knowledge is so broad that something leads to something and it just keeps going. Mhm. But yeah, guys, remember, replace your why with a who. Okay. It's not why they don't want you. It is that it's a matter of time a woman will want you. Okay. The question is who, right? Who wants you? Okay. Can't say it's impossible. That's not nature. Okay. That's not nature. With my 40 years, I've seen, right? And I've traveled a lot. I've seen guys that you see them, he's married, he is, and has 6 kids, right? So nature produces its own, right? Never underestimate nature, guys. Okay? Never. This is why when somebody wants to hurt you, especially women, they want to throw you off with a comment, right? That you're a loser, right? You're a virgin. You don't get woman, right? I'd rather have him. Good. That's your type, right? Remember, guys, don't ignore women. Ignore what they're saying. That's more powerful. You will hit them right in their pride. Okay? hmm You will see them fold. You will see them fold mhm, like chairs, boxes. Okay? Don't ignore women. Ignore what they're saying. Mhm, mhm. You will come off like you're solid and you're not hurt. Okay? From what they say, like, I don't believe anything you're saying, girl. But you don't have to respond. Right? By not responding, they know. You know, they know this. That's the advantage that women have over young men or men in general who have no experience with women. That they can say things that they can hurt men, young men who are not experienced. They can hurt them real bad that that young man doesn't want to go out never again. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, we as men we're more stronger, right? We can physically hurt a woman because of her strength, but a woman is more capable of saying something and hurt you only if you are inexperienced. Okay. You don't know nothing about women. Okay. That's the thing. Okay. You know how many times women have told me, you loser, you don't have a job. You loser, you had 10 jobs in a month. Right. And then what? Fill him up with kisses, hmm? Hugs, right? And more. You know what I'm saying. hmm Right. But because I'm not ignoring her. I'm ignoring what she's saying. Okay. And I believe that young men or immature men, unexperienced, I'm going to say unexperienced men with women. When I say woman pussy, that's what I'm trying to say. They don't understand this. And this is why a lot of young men are going depressed. Okay. Not necessarily because they're just being rejected, it's because how they got rejected. The words that the woman said to the man, to the young man. And this is what this young man, because nobody is there to tell them or tell him, you know what, bro? This is what women do. They run their mouths. They want drama. And you have to give them to them. Okay? But you need to learn how and when to stop and when to proceed. Okay? That's the key. That's the key with women. You need to know when to start and when to stop and go back again. Mhm. When to walk in, when to walk out. That's the catch. 100%, guys. 100%. And I'm very I feel happy with myself that I know there's gonna be few people, you know, who are gonna take this to heart and it's gonna try it. Okay, they're not gonna take just my word for it. They're gonna try it because a lot of things that I'm saying they were told to me when I was younger, right? But then I thought that I knew so much, and then boom, right? I learned the hard way. Not all the time, sometimes, but there was a lot of times that I learned by guys like me when I was younger. Okay, they will share their experiences, and I will love. I always respect a man who tells me, "Don't take my word for granted. Go write down what I said and apply it." Okay, and when I see you again in a few weeks, months, or years, you tell me. But if I was right, the food and the beers are on you, bud. Okay. I love that. I love that stuff. Right. So this is what I'm telling you guys. Don't let women hurt you by their words. Okay. Okay. Don't ignore her. Ignore her words. And I think people have it backwards. This is why it's getting kind of like dangerous because, oh, you just have to ignore women. So ignoring something is thinking that it's not here. Right. You can't do that, guys. You can't do that. You can't ignore women. They're here. And believe me, they're not going nowhere. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So from now on, guys, don't ignore women. Sometimes you have to, most of the time, you have to ignore what they're saying. Okay. There's going to be a few times you have to acknowledge what they're saying, of course. Of course. Right. But for the most part, women have to be ignored from the words they say. Okay. Not as a physical human being, but what they're saying. Okay. And I believe this is going to heal a lot of men like it heal in me and on me. Okay. Never take a woman's words personal. Okay. I don't know, call it crazy. I just love it though. I just love it. You lazy loser, anything, the worst name that you can be called, I take it as a compliment, honestly. And it's something that I did it on purpose. It's just I got to the point that I think it's just a compliment, right? And this is why I'm sharing this because I know it's gonna help a lot of young men to understand that women are are masters at damaging young men with their words, right? Mm. I'm gonna give you an example so you know that I'm not lying. Okay, when you're young as a man, even when you're older, we don't like to be compared to other men. That's one of the big no-nos, right? He kissed me better than you. Did you. He did that. Ignore her language. Ignore her. Her words, not her. Mm? I'm a big dog and my ladies love it. There you go. Huh? Right? That's what's up, guys. Okay. Ladies, women are masters at this. They will destroy you, not physically. They're weak. Mm? They're physically weak. Mm? They will hurt you internally. Mm? They will use words. And if you're not experienced with woman psychology or nature, female nature, they're going to destroy you. Okay. To the point that you want to end up doing something to yourself and you shouldn't. Okay. You shouldn't. Mm? How do you get experience with this? Don't ignore woman. Acknowledge that she's there. Acknowledge that they share the planet with us. Some stupid, dumb stuff that come from their mouth most of the time. Yes, ignore that. but don't ignore her womb. Mm? Don't ignore her youthfulness. Mm? Don't ignore how useful she can be. Okay. And this is when young guys are going to say, well, this is too much. This is just a game. Right? Stop. Stop. Uh, This is serious, good stuff, man. Mm? I said it before. I don't think it's funny and fun when two or three of my friends have come and one of their nephews, his brother, they suicide because of their wives, their women. And you don't know the damage that it does to all the family, man. This is, I mean, it's not to blame women for this. Another one. Oh, I forgot about this one. Okay, okay. I need to mention this one. Okay, guys, write it down too. Don't blame women for nothing. They're just being women. That's who they are. Okay? They talk stupid stuff most of the time. They argue about things that they shouldn't be arguing. They complain. They whine. Yeah. hmm That's why a man always is ready to kill or fight when he's being called a bitch, right? Because that's a female nature, right? If there's something that a man gets bothered by, it's to be called a female, right? But in the other word, okay? This is this is deep, guys. I'm literally I'm gonna stay with you guys, right? Not for hours, but don't blame women for nothing. But don't. Okay? This is who they are. They cannot help it. Okay? They lie, they don't have morals, they don't have integrity, they're not loyal, they don't know about respect. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, but so thank you. Huh? That's okay. That's okay. As a man, I know I'm sounding like a repeating song. Ignore her words. Don't ignore her. Okay? You cannot ignore something that's already here and they can be useful for you. But if you know who is for you, okay? Not why, no, who wants me. And it's a matter of time. Who wants you, okay? You have to get out of your bed. You don't have to do two, three jobs. Stop listening to idiots, right? Who forgot where they come from, okay? You need to stop listening to idiots, right? Who are telling you get rich quickly and forget about the world. That's not how it works, bro. Okay? Yeah, there's rich people, wealthy people, but you never lived with them. You don't know exactly what happened to them, how they got rich, right? One of my favorite things, just to not to get deviated, but one of my favorite things when I'm fucking watching YouTube or anything, there's this guy with a microphone. Can you tell me how you became rich? And you see the other idiot. Well, working hard and putting some pennies on the side, and stock market, you know, real estate. Ha 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 ha. And people believe that. People really believe that stupid dumb stuff. People really believe that this is how they got rich. Hmm? They think in 30 seconds, a minute and a half from these fool, they're telling you everything. You know, guys, I don't want to use I'm putting you on game because I don't like that. I don't like that word. All right. I come from the streets too, but I don't like that. The word I'm going to use, guys, I want you guys to be more sophisticated, okay? Mentally and physically. Be more sophisticated, guys. This is not the time to hate women, and this is not the time to blame women. This is the time to use women to your advantage, okay? Use women to your advantage, okay? When she's talking nonsense, when she's just running her mouth, ignore what she's saying, okay? Don't ignore her. You'll be how surprised. You can ignore what she's saying and then come back and talk to her like nothing happened. You're gonna fuck her up from mentally. Okay? You gonna trigger something in you. You know why? Because most of the time women are looking, but they don't know they're looking. But they're searching who has resilience. Okay? Who are the warriors? Who are the men that they don't fold when she's screaming or she's just fucking being, a little drama. Okay? And I'm not talking about, oh, you have to listen to her. No, no, no. Just because you're ignoring what she's saying and not ignoring her as a human being, that doesn't mean you're gonna be there and stay there. No. You can close your mind. Bye. See you. See you next year. Or whatever you want to say. Right? I bet she's gonna call you, she's gonna be doing all that. But you need to understand, you need to stop hating women. You need to stop shaming them. Right? I agree most of the red pill knowledge, most of it. The only part that I disagree because it doesn't help, and I tried it, I stopped doing it, and this is when I started getting more vagina. Honestly, guys. When I stopped, I swear to my two best friends that I have hanging right here, I swear, when I stopped shaming women, even though it's hard for me, like I like me, like any guy, I will get laid more. It's just this bliss that you have. It's just this like there's no hate with them. Like, okay, she's been having threesomes and she's been ran over by everybody, everything. Okay, don't sleep with her. Don't marry. Good thing it's not your wife, right? But sometimes we get involved with something that is not part of us, right? Okay, that's it. Okay, don't blame women. Don't shame her. Okay, am I a one who's advocating for them? I'm not advocating for them. I'm not advocating for men. Okay, I'm telling young men they need to stop isolating themselves from women. Okay, and if any woman's watching this, right, they know it's true. So women are not blessed, but they're wired to figure out things that we sometimes cannot, right? And it's just a matter of time. And when you get it, they will reward you. Okay. Mhm. They will reward you for that. Okay. Because you're not waiting for her to explain because she doesn't know anyway. She's a dummy, right? For the most part, she will not be able to put it in words. That's why she will get frustrated, right? Because sometimes you're not seeing what's happening, and it happens to me all the time. And don't put yourself down when you don't see what's happening, or it took so much time to figure out. It's just the way it is, all right. But once you find out, be on it, right? That's it. That's the key, right? Thank you for the game. Thank you for you guys for supporting, right? Remember, guys, the few in the right places are better and it makes a big difference than masses everywhere. I'm going to repeat it again. The few, one, two, three, the few in the right places makes a bigger difference than a whole, right? Than more people everywhere. Okay. It's not about more, right? We just need a few. And that creates a ripple effect with everybody. Okay. Creates a ripple. I'm gonna I'm gonna wrap it up with this one, guys. Remember, ignore what she says. Ignore what she says. Okay. Don't ignore her. Okay. She's useful for you. Okay. She has a womb. She has a brain, right? And more, if you know what I mean. Okay. Don't believe what she says most of the time. Okay. This is a skill that you have to do on a daily basis. Just the same effort that you put to go to the gym and do your reps, okay, and make money. This is the other 50% that you're missing. Yeah, I said it. 50%. I don't care if you become a billionaire. A billionaire. If you don't know nothing about women, you just have 50% figure out, bud. 50%. Okay? In this world, there's two parts that men need not to master, but to know. 50% woman, the other 50% money. Yeah, in that order. I said it in that order. 50% knowledge about female nature, about woman, then about money. Because if you do money first and then woman, it might be too late because she will take it away from you. Okay? And like I said, it's not about paying for a woman, it's spending on a woman. Very different. I said it. Thank you guys.